Everyone wants to be successful, but most people are sacrificing the very thing that success actually requires, which is their health. Because here's the truth that no one likes to hear: you can't build an extraordinary life with an exhausted mind and a neglected body. Your ambition might be limitless, but your energy is not. And eventually, your body always sends the bill, and you will have to pay the price. If your body gives out, if your brain burns out, none of the goals that you have matter anymore, because you need those faculties to function and focus on your pursuit of success and accomplishing your goals. Health isn't something you should sacrifice for success. Instead, it's the thing that makes your success possible. We live in a culture that glorifies exhaustion and burnout.
What more do you want from me?
People brag about getting 4 hours of sleep. People skip meals. They ignore their mental health. They live off of caffeine and energy drinks and treat burnout like it's some kind of badge of honor.
Nigga, fuck that, nigga. No, nigga. No. 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 Nigga. No.
You have lost your mind. You have lost your mind. You have lost your mind.
We convince ourselves that we'll rest after we become successful, that we'll take care of ourselves after we get promoted, or after we hit a certain amount of money, or after we build the life that we want. But the irony is that the very habits that we're using to chase success are always slowly taking away our ability to achieve it. And isn't that funny? When you're mentally exhausted, everything feels harder. Everything takes more effort. For example, simple decisions become overwhelming. Your creativity disappears. It becomes stifled. Your motivation disappears. Your patience disappears. Your critical thinking disappears. Your clarity disappears. And eventually, you don't even recognize the person you are anymore, and you also just lose track of the person that you're trying to become. And what we have to understand and embed in our heads is that the brain is the operating system of our entire lives. Every decision that we make, every opportunity we notice, every relationship that we build, every problem that we solve, it runs through our minds first. And if you don't take care of your mental, you won't have the clarity and the bandwidth to make effective, informed decisions. And always remember that decisions have consequences. Therefore, it is important to set up the foundation to make good decisions. It's important to take care of your brain because it determines your entire life. All of the decisions that we make as humans are processed by the brain. And of course, every decision has a consequence, and the consequences that come from those decisions determine your reality. So if your operating system, which is your brain, is overloaded, nothing performs well, and you are more likely to make bad decisions, which will lead to negative consequences and, of course, a negative reality.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Also, the same goes for your body. You can't consistently produce high quality work if you're constantly tired. You can't stay disciplined if you have no energy. You can't think clearly if you're surviving instead of living. And people say health is wealth, but it goes even further than that. Health is what creates wealth, and that's why the title of the video is Health is the Foundation of Ambition. And I'm not just talking about financial wealth here, but also the wealth of having energy, the wealth of being present, the wealth of having clarity, the wealth of waking up excited instead of exhausted, the wealth of waking up with a clear mind. And now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely believe that success requires some sort of sacrifice, right? It requires discipline, it requires discomfort, and yes, sometimes it requires suffering. But not all suffering is created equally. There's productive suffering and there's destructive suffering. Productive suffering is choosing today's discomfort for tomorrow's reward. It's waking up before sunrise to study. It's going to the gym when you'd rather stay in bed. It's practicing a skill long after everyone else has quit. It's hearing no 100 times before someone finally says yes. That kind of suffering leads to growth. It builds resilience, it builds discipline, it builds strength, it builds character, it builds the person that's capable of achieving the goals that you want to achieve in life. But then, on the other hand, there's destructive suffering. And this is the suffering we convince ourselves is just part of the grind. Like sleeping 4 hours a night, living off of caffeine and stress and energy drinks, ignoring your anxiety because you're too busy, never taking a break because you're afraid of falling behind, and skipping meals, and believing that burnout is proof that you're working hard enough. But here's the difference: productive suffering strengthens the machine, it strengthens you. Conversely, destructive suffering breaks the machine, it breaks you down. Actually, literally. For example, imagine you're driving some sort of Formula One car, right? And that car is designed to be pushed to its limits. And it's supposed to turn corners at these unbelievable speeds. And it's supposed to be driven aggressively. But even the fastest car in the world needs fuel. It needs fresh tires. It needs maintenance. It needs repairs. No engineer would tell you don't stop, that you should just keep driving until the engine explodes, right? Because once the engine blows, the race is over. You're out of the race. You're off track. You can no longer be on your pursuit. And your body and your mind work the exact same way. They're meant to be challenged. They're meant to be pushed for growth and resilience and strength. But they're never meant to be neglected. You can push yourself without destroying yourself. In fact, if you want to accomplish something extraordinary, you have to learn the difference between productive suffering and destructive suffering. And that's what I'm trying to learn here. Because success isn't won by the person who burns the brightest or is the most intense or who does the most extreme things. Success is achieved by the person who can keep showing up long after everyone else has burnt out, after everyone else has quit. And the goal here isn't to avoid suffering. The goal is to choose the kind of suffering that builds your future instead of quietly and slowly destroying it.